since dropping out of the race.
Well, look, the polls we had showed that it was a neck-and-neck race. Would have been down to the wire. But what happened was a number of my Democratic colleagues in the House and Senate thought that I was going to hurt them in the races. And I was concerned if I stayed in the race, that would be the topic. You'd be interviewing me about why did Nancy Pelosi say, why did someone, and I thought it'd be a real distraction, number one. Number two, when I ran the first time, I thought of myself as being a transition president. I can't even say how old I am. It's hard for me to get out of my mouth.
To those who have expressed skepticism about how much you'll be on the trail or about the rest of your term, raise questions about your health, what do you say to them?
All I can say is watch, that's all. Look, I had a really, really bad day in that debate because I was sick. But I have no serious problem.
The clown show that is Fox and well, they put a token guy on the side of the sofa. It's the truth. Sorry if anybody gets upset. They don't really want to talk about their guy, which is strange because they got the perfect words to go with some pictures of their guy.
I was very curious to see if the American people continue to buy it, because it seems to be the scenario they're thinking about now.
I'm serious. It's not even comedy. They must be talking about Don Shitsy Pantsy.
But no one has said, Mr. President, Father Time has caught up with you. No one is saying, hey, there's something wrong right now.
Talk about hiding facts and truth from former guy. Even Fox admitting that the information that Trump sees is not actually the right information.
Okay, people are showing him some polls, but they're the wrong polls. They're just his team was showing him polls that were favorable to him.
How do you want history to remember President Biden?
That he proved democracy can work. It got us out of a pandemic. It produced the single greatest economic recovery in American history. We're the most powerful economy in the world. We have more to do. And it demonstrated that we can pull the nation together. Look, I've always believed, and I still do, the American people are good and decent. They're honorable people. When I announced my candidacy to run way back for president, I said we got to do three things: restore the soul of America, build the economy from the middle out and the bottom up, not the top down, and
now we have the real comedy. Sean Hannity and Sandy Clamity's partner, more commonly known as Ainsley, sits in the middle on Fox and Fiennes, and the token guy on the other side. Well, she's trying to get on it. She pops into the local supermarket and is worried about prices. Something tells me when you live in a house like she does, perhaps she's lying.
We know what it's like to go to the grocery store. We know what it's like to try to buy a house. You can't right now because interest rates are too high. We want them to go back down.
It's incredible. They managed to go a whole 30 minutes without actually showing any footage of Trump. But then they moved on to the subject of plagiarism, something I think Melania Trump knows an awful lot about. And you tell me any original idea Trump's ever had. Oh yeah, Project 25. That's working out very well, isn't it? But they're upset because Kamala Harris has decided that maybe there were a few things that she would like to say in terms of her thoughts and policies. But at Fox, yeah, can't say that. How dare you say that? That's not original. This is called having a tantrum.
Both are saying this, and we were like, but Donald Trump said it first, and she's stealing it from him.
Larry, who clearly is the token guy at the end of the sofa, doesn't know what to do with his hands. He either sits in them, waves them, or clenches them. And he's joining on the fray, by the way. How dare... Oh, seriously. They want to actually really make a thing of this no tax on tips? That's the best they can do?
This is not the only issue that they're doing this on. You got the Biden administration talking about insulin prices. That was set in place by Donald Trump. They just...
Actually, Larry, to use the English word for toro with S-H-I-T, just describes the... what you're on about.
And eliminate taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers.
We take our next steps into the world.
Now you must go forth into the world.
It is with passion,
courage
of conviction,
courage in your convictions,
and most importantly,
you
must always have faith in yourself.
Be true to yourself.
We did it!
My
Barack and I were raised with so many of the same values.
That you work hard for what you want.
You work hard for what you want.
That your word is your bond.
That your word is your bond. That you do what you say you're going to do. That you treat people
with respect.
With dignity and respect, even if you don't know them, and even if you don't agree with them.
And
Barack and I set out to build lives guided by these values and to pass them on to the next generation, because we want our children and all children in this nation to know that the only limit to the height of your achievements is the reach of your dreams and your willingness to work hard for them.
And your willingness to work for them.
J.D. Vance has really stepped up. He's doing a fantastic job.
Well, I smile at a lot of things, including bogus questions from the media, man. I'm a normal guy. I think we have to go to war against the anti-child ideology. I guess they'd want to have a beer with me because I actually do like to drink beer. And right now, I am angry. I had a Diet Mountain Dew yesterday, and one today. I'm sure they're going to call that racist too, but it's good. Son, shut the hell up for 30 seconds about Pikachus. I love you guys. I'm a normal guy.
Do you ever hear a song on the radio and you think, that's really good? And then you hear another song, you think, well, that won't work. Then they try and remix it, it still won't work. You can have various different variations, it's still a load of, wow, what word should we use? Garbage, rubbish. There's a word beginning with S, which we could use. Shambles. What word were you thinking of? J.D. Vance. I don't know how many different versions of J.D. Vance we're actually going to get, but they're all basically the same. He's being given, should we say, kid glove treatments. Well, there's the odd question which you could underline as being particularly probing, but in general, it's a waste of time. I don't think that this is just me as an outsider looking in. I generally do not think there is any chance that J.D. Vance will ever get anywhere near being vice president. I actually think there's a high possibility he could get booted. Just every time he opens his mouth, you're thinking, just a no from me, a no.
She wanted to open the border, but now she doesn't. She should have to answer for why she presents a different set of policies to one audience and a different set of policies to another audience. And I think that's what President Trump is getting at. This is a fundamentally fake person. She's different depending on who she's in front of.
With respect, you changed your position on an important thing, which is Donald Trump.
Of course I did.
So why are you not a chameleon?
We'll get to the crazy in a moment, but first let's deal with, this is just disgusting. Like, there's no other word for this. And I'm amazed that nobody feels like calling it out. Kamala Harris has come along, taking the mantle, taking the headlines, and also taking the lead in the polls. So he's really just... This shows how desperate, no other word, desperate he's getting to resort to what is just sheer racism. Something you just... Well, it doesn't take too long to work out. It's all projection, it's all stage, it's all trying to get a little clip. Who in their right mind, look, we all talk to ourselves, well, I do sometimes, but waving in thin air.
I could just smell the cringe that an image like this causes to many of you out there. You know who you are. You folks in the back of the room. You folks who hate this man for no reason that you can explain. I've never heard anybody explain why they hate this man. Even my friends. Nobody can ever explain why they hate him. Have a legitimate reason.
Mexico's going to pay for the wall. Mexico's going to pay for the wall. They're going to pay for the wall, and they're going to enjoy it.
He promised us. We trusted him to get it done.
I will build a great, great wall.
But he didn't get it done. He failed. He lied to us. More illegal immigrants were deported under Barack Obama. Now, he says we should trust him again. Donald Trump, he had his chance. He failed.
I've been so proud to work by your side. When I was Attorney General of California, we worked together to crack down on wage theft. When I was a United States Senator, we fought together for paid family leave and medical leave. And earlier this year, right here in Vegas, we celebrated your historic contract win. And it is my promise to everyone here, when I am president, we will continue our fight for working families of America. Including to raise the minimum wage and eliminate taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers. And Nevada, today I also bring greetings from our incredible President, Joe Biden. Joe. We love Joe. And I know, I'm going to tell them what y'all just said. And I know we are all so deeply grateful to Joe Biden for his lifetime of service to our nation. And he's not done. And he's not done. So as I said, it's so good to be back in Las Vegas. The last time I was here, I stopped by the practice for the men's national basketball team before they headed out to the Olympics. And maybe you saw it on your phone, but just a few hours ago in Paris, they won the gold. A few hours before that, our women's national soccer team won the gold as well. USA, USA. That's right. So in one sport after another, Team USA continues to make our nation proud. So much to celebrate, so much to celebrate. So, Nevada, we have 87 days until the election. 87 days. And here's the thing. But here's the thing. We know this will be a tight race until the very end. And so let's not pay too much attention to the polls, because we have some hard work ahead of us. But we like hard work. Hard work is good work. And with your help this November, we will win. We will win. We will win. We will win. And I know we are all clear toward that win. We are all clear about what we are up against. As many of you know, before I was elected vice president, before I was elected a United States senator, I was an elected attorney general, and before that, district attorney. And before that, I was a courtroom prosecutor. In those roles, I took on perpetrators of all kinds. Predators who abused women, fraudsters who ripped off consumers, scammers who broke the rules for personal gain. So Nevada, hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type. Hold on. The court's gonna take care of that. We just gonna beat him in November. We'll beat him in November. We'll beat him in November. But I've certainly been dealing with people like him my entire career. For example, as Attorney General of California, I took on one of our country's largest for-profit colleges that scammed students. Well, Donald Trump ran a for-profit college that scammed students. Remember that. As a prosecutor, I specialized in cases of sexual abuse. Well, Donald Trump was found liable for committing sexual abuse. As Attorney General, I held Wall Street banks accountable for fraud. Well, Donald Trump was just found guilty of fraud, 34 counts. All of this is to say, in this campaign, I will proudly put my record against his every day of the week. Every day of the week. That being said, let's make no mistake, this campaign is not just about us versus Donald Trump. It is about two different visions for our nation. One, ours, focused on the future. The other, focused on the past. We're not going back. We're not going back. We are not going back. And we're not going back because, Nevada, we fight for the future. A future with affordable health care, affordable child care, and paid leave. We fight for a future where we build a broad-based economy where every American has an opportunity to own a home, to start a business, and to build wealth. We believe in a future where we lower the cost of living for America's families so they have a chance not just to get by, but to get ahead, to get ahead. Because look, while our economy is doing well by many measures, prices for everyday things like groceries are still too high. You know it and I know it. When I was Attorney General, I went after price-fixing schemes. And when I am president, I will continue that work to bring down prices. I will take on big corporations that engage in illegal price gouging, corporate landlords that unfairly raise rents on working families, and take on big pharma and cap the cost of prescription drugs for all Americans. Unlike Donald Trump, I will always, I promise you, put the middle class and working families first. Because you see, Tim Walz and I may not appear to have a whole lot in common, but we have so much in common. And I'll tell you what he and I know, the middle class built the United States of America. And when the middle class is strong, America is strong. And so while we, together, work to move our nation forward, Donald Trump has a different plan. Just look at his Project 2025 agenda, which I keep saying, I can't believe they put that in writing. And so if he is elected, Donald Trump intends to give tax breaks to billionaires and big corporations. He intends to cut Social Security and Medicare. And he intends to surrender our fight against the climate crisis. And I don't need to tell Nevada every day, because you feel the impact of extreme heat and drought. You know the climate crisis is real. But Donald Trump, well, he claims it's a hoax. And on top of this, if Donald Trump were to win in November, he won't. But if he were to win in November, he intends to end the Affordable Care Act. Think about that. To take us back to a time when insurance companies had the power to deny people with pre-existing conditions? You remember what that was like? Children with asthma, breast cancer survivors, grandparents with diabetes. Look, America has tried these failed policies before, and we are not going back. We are not going back. We are not going back. We're 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 not going back. And we are going to move forward. We will move forward. And in moving forward, we will take on the biggest issues facing our nation. For example, we will address the issue of immigration. I was the attorney of a border state, attorney general of a border state. I went after transnational gangs, drug cartels, and human traffickers who came into our country illegally. I prosecuted them in case after case, and I won. We know our immigration system is broken, and we know what it takes to fix it. Comprehensive reform that includes, yes, strong border security and an earned pathway to citizenship. But Donald Trump doesn't want to fix this problem. He talks a big game about a lot of things, but he talks a big game about border security, but he does not walk the walk. Earlier this year, we had a chance to pass the toughest bipartisan border security bill in decades. But Donald Trump tanked the bill because he thought it would help him win an election. Well, when I am president, I will sign that bill into law. Nevada, ours is a fight for the future, and it is a fight for freedom. Across our nation, we have been witnessing a full-on assault on hard-won, hard-fought freedoms and fundamental rights. The freedom to vote, the freedom to be safe from gun violence, the freedom to love who you love openly and with pride. decisions about her own body and not have her government tell her what to do. A fight for freedom. And on that last point, we all know how we got here. When he was president, Donald Trump handpicked 3 members of the United States Supreme Court because he intended for them to undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. And as he intended, they did. Now, in more than 20 states, there is a Trump abortion ban. Many with no exceptions even for rape and incest. And be sure, if he were to win, he would sign a national abortion ban, which would outlaw abortion in every state, even Nevada. But we are not going to let that happen. Because we trust women. And when I am President of the United States and Congress passes a bill to restore reproductive freedoms, I will sign it into law. So I know the folks who are here. I know the people of Nevada. You are battle-born. You are battle-born. And if Donald Trump wants to pick a fight over our most fundamental freedoms, we say, bring it on. Bring it on. Bring it on. Nevada, generations of Americans before us led the fight for freedom. Now, the baton is in our hands. Each and every one of us. So we who believe in the sacred freedom to vote will finally pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Act and the Freedom to Vote Act. And we who believe in the freedom to live safe from gun violence will finally pass an assault weapons ban, universal background checks, and red flag laws. So much is on the line. So much is on the line in this election. And understand, this is not 2016. This is not 2020. This time around, the stakes are even higher. And that's because last month, the Supreme Court of the United States basically told the former president that going forward, he will effectively be immune no matter what he does in the White House. But think about what that means. Think about what that means. So Donald Trump has vowed to be a dictator on day one if reelected. He said he will weaponize, essentially, the Department of Justice against his political enemies. And even called for the, quote, termination of the Constitution of the United States. Let us be very clear. Someone who suggests we should terminate the Constitution of the United States, should never again stand behind the seal of President of the United States. Never again. What we stand for as Americans. And you know, it all comes down to this. We are here together because we love our country. We love our country. And I do believe it is the highest form of patriotism to fight for the ideals of our country. That is how we preserve the promise of America. And think about it. After all, the promise of America is what makes it possible for Tim Walz and me to be together on this stage today. Think about that. Think about that. Think about it. 2 middle-class kids, one a daughter of Oakland, California, who was raised by a working mother. I had a summer job at McDonald's. The other, a son of the Nebraska Plains who grew up working on a farm. Think about it. Think about it. Only in America is it possible that the two of them would be running together all the way to the White House. Only in America. Only in America. So look, and I love you back. So look, we are together, we are running this campaign on behalf of all Americans. From red states to blue states, from the heartland to the coast. And when elected, we will govern on behalf of all Americans. All Americans. So Nevada, ultimately in this election, I believe we each face a question. What kind of country do we want to live in? A country of chaos, fear, and hate, or a country of freedom, compassion, and rule of law? And the beauty of our democracy, here's the thing, the beauty of our democracy is we each person has the power. Each person has the power to answer that question. The power is with the people. The power is with the people. It's with the people. And so in the next 87 days, we need you to use your power to knock on doors, register folks to vote, and make your voices heard. So Nevada, today I ask you, are you ready to make your voices heard? Do we believe in freedom? Do we believe in opportunity?
We believe in the promise